What's going on, everybody? Simulation for the Nation here, and today we are going to be looking into a mod that came out on ModHub a long time ago that really does add quite a lot of realism to your gameplay. For a long time we have had guidance steering by Wobster. We all know what that is about there. I've even done a video about that and how to use it effectively on your machines. But recently, we did see a new mod called Headland Management arrive onto Farm Simulator 22 for PC only at the moment, unfortunately. It's by Jason06 and Glowens, and it is effectively, it is bringing even more realism into your modern equipment here on Farm Sim. So if you're in a modern day tractor these days, you can set it up and program your machine with a press of one button there on your joystick or whatever programmable button you choose to select. When you come to an end of a pass or an end of a row in your field, doing whatever you may be doing there, the tractor will take over. It will perhaps lift up an implement, turn off an implement, lift up ridge markers, disable GPS, start your turn, or anything like that. Lower throttle revs, increase throttle revs. And that's effectively what we're going to be able to do today. It's a very simple mod. It doesn't take too much programming at all. It works beautifully well with GPS, and we're going to take a look at it. To do that, we've massacred this field of wheat. We've stripped a whole bit out of the middle of it. I've already got my GPS line set up, so it's important for this to function properly. You do need to make sure that you have your GPS path set up. Once you've got that set up there, it should be good. We're going to jump on into this here McCormick. I'm going to start up the McCormick. Now you'll hear there's a beep there, and it continues to beep, and we're going to get to that in just a little while. So first of all there, you would set up your GPS. Obviously you got your Control S, and that's your GPS settings. If you click on, we're going to bring this up as well so you can see the menu. You're going to click left control, shift and X. Now this brings you into your Headland Management. This is everything you need to know. It's simple and it's easy. As you go through these general settings here, it will tell you there's an alert there. You can turn that off so it won't beep at you once you save it. That tells you that your the audible alerts to tell you that your Headland Management is active. That's good to know. And of course volume, self-explanatory. Now the implement control, this is great. This allows you to control exactly what happens with your implements. So you can choose it to do both front and back, which you would want for a setup like mine. But if you're plowing, let's say, and you got to wait in the front, you don't want it lifting and raising and lowering the front weight whenever you're plowing. You want that disabled. So you can very much go through and turn that off as well if you'd like to. And just have it at the front, just have it at the rear, whatever you would need. We're going to keep it front and back though. If you have a plow on there, it can do it in two separate steps. So it would lift up the ground and turn it halfway over, and then it would turn it over fully as well. So it would take two different steps in which to do that. As you see here, after lifting, plows can be turned either completely or initially only to the center. So that would be pretty cool to do, and then when it's about to come back around to this next furrow, then it will complete the turnover. Stop PTO and hydraulic devices. Well, we're going to have a look into that right now, but that's a really cool little feature to have there. A lot more efficient there on the tractor. It'll kill the revs down as well. Switch off the PTO implements. Really pretty cool. And also if you're drilling, it'll change the ridge marker for you there as well. Lots of nice things to look into there. As you scroll down onto vehicle control, you have GPS control. So we are integrating this with GPS. Of course you could choose not to, but we are using guidance steering for this one. If you have any other mods, it can also be set to detect automatically, so it'll find out which mods they are. So if you're using the vehicle control add-on, for example, it'll choose that one, but we're in guidance steering there, so we're good to go. In conjunction with guidance steering, Headland Management can be activated as well. So this is something we'll look into in a second, and I'll show you how this works. And then the trigger is also tied into this as well. We're going off the front implement for that, but you do have front, you have back, so you can choose which machine you want to use. Again, if you're plowing, you want to go off the rear implement, not the front weight that you'll be carrying. Speed controls are also good as well. You can vary the speed, so when you, depending upon the task you're doing, sometimes you'd slow down when you get to the headland, you'd lift up your implements there and you'd turn around, you get back into the ground, and you'd speed up again to go. Doesn't really apply in this situation because our working speed is pretty slow, but I'll show you what that looks like anyway. Working speed in headland will bring down to about 7. All right there, that's grand. Okay, so we're going to save. Now, as I come into GPS again, as I mentioned there, the headland distance is something that you can program into your GPS. So what it will do, for example, we're creating 9 meters off the edge of the field. Now in this instance, we're not going to get to that because of the little plot field that I've drawn out here. But you can program your GPS to do certain different things when you get to that location. So when you get to 9 meters away from the edge, you can have the vehicle stop, or you can have that turned off. So what that would mean is that you're not going to, if you are, let's say, plowing, and you only want to plow the interior of the field, you can set your headland distance and it'll stop at a certain point. It's not going to plow all the way to the edge of the field or till you hit a tree or something. So that's pretty neat to do. Anyway, that's all set up. As you'll see down by the little down by the speedometer in the right corner, there's a little orange circle with the letter H inside of it. Now that is because we're in headland mode right now. So the tractor knows that we're turning around. Now in theory, what you would see is if we were already going, it would be slowly working itself around, and we'd be on to the next pass. But as we've stopped for this, we're gonna have to get ourselves going again. So what we're gonna do, I've got this programmed in on my joystick for one button, and you'll see as I press this button here, everything starts to kick into gear. But we're just gonna stop that. We're gonna make sure we get our GPS in gear. This is only for the first time, and I'll show you how the rest of it looks. So now we're into gear. You'll see by the press of one button there that the mulcher at the front powered on, lowered, and then as did our cultivator at the back there. This cultivator, don't forget, you can put a seeder on there, so you can put grass, or I think oilseed radish and canola in as well with it. Pretty cool. But right now we are cruising along in this little block that we've cut out. We're on a GPS track there, as you can well see. And what we'll do once we get to the end there, you can see right now it's got a little yellow circle with an S. To the best of my knowledge, that is because we are using satellite mode. So it is using the GPS steering, and it's all locked in there. What we will do, we're going to press that same button that we have configured. If you don't have any additional joysticks, it's going to be left, shift and X to take it off headland mode. And that would then put it into headland mode. That'll allow you to turn and steer. When you get lined up to where you want to go for the next pass, you press Control and X again, and it will take over. Now, crucially, I'm setting my GPS for 11 here because our headland speed should be 8. So we've got plenty of... well, you should see that our speed when we turn around the headland here should be capped at 8 miles an hour. And we're going to test that when we get to the end. But yeah, the reason I wanted to use the mulcher there was just to show you the fact that yes, you can operate that PTO. And this is why it's important that if you are plowing or something, that you have a front weight and you make sure that it only activates the rear implement. Otherwise, it's going to keep lowering your front weight there, and you're going to be bulldozing along and going to kill your speed, which is what you want to try and avoid. But anyway, we're coming to the end here now, and you'll see it's not going to turn itself off yet because I haven't done anything and we're too far away from the edge of the field. But with one press of a button, you'll see all the implements are raised, the power is killed, and the GPS lock is taken off there. We're going to spin around. It's still going at... It's down to 6 there now, so let's get it back into gear there, and you can see it's away. Now, you obviously want to be a little bit more careful about where you raise and lower down because the rear implement does come down at the same time. So it is gonna, there's no delay there that I can see to add on. And if I go into your settings here, it doesn't give you the option to change that around. So that's something you want to think about. And as you can see there, it is grinding along. It's a little bit slow. What I'm gonna do though, is I'm gonna let this run all the way through on this pass until it gets to the hedge line. You'll see when the headland mode kicks in, the GPS detects that we're 9 meters away from the edge of the field boundary. And it will stop the tractor. It won't stop the engine, but it'll stop the momentum, and it may even lift up the implements as well. We'll watch this to see how well it does that. But this does allow you to strive for that extra realism there. It gives you that efficiency. It gives you the ability to control your implements in the manner which you would expect to on a new modern tractor. All of these actions are always going to be programmable through the display and through the computer there as well, and then you'll be able to choose which button you want to be able to enable or disengage your headland management, and it's nice and straightforward. So as you'll see right now, again, it's not stopping because I haven't told it to. That being said, if we just let it keep going and going and going, you'll probably find in another 15 seconds or so, it may well stop itself. Nice little unit. This little McCormick is being put through the mix of pulling this one along here, but it's working well. I do like this a lot. Love the black rims on it as well. Name it now, you're going to get a beep. And there you go. You'll see it stop there. It's lifted everything up automatically, and around we go. I can just turn the wheel around. It's going to find our next track. Of course, we are using GPS, so you've got to roughly kind of put it into the right area. And it's just going to keep rolling along. It's currently just cruising along at 5 there, which if I kick up the speed, you'll see now it's going up even faster there, and then we'll slow it down. We're going to enable our marker again. It's picked up the next GPS track, and the speed has come right back down again, nice and easy. Now, of course, once you get into the habit of how to use this and get a bit more practice, you will start to really make the GPS a little bit more efficient for yourself. You'll be able to perhaps miss every other row and come down and really keep a nice, efficient path going there. But from a demonstration standpoint there, this is more than adequate. And like I say, if you were to enable this machine here with the subsoiler here with the added air seeder on the back of it, you can really turn a full field of whatever cover crop you may have, or even a crop like this if you really wanted to go out there and actively destroy a crop of wheat. You could go from fully grown crop to mulched to plowed to drilled in one pass there. Yes, there are a lot of rocks being pulled up here. This is using patch 1.3. I don't know if that's got any direct correlation, but that being said, you can always get a roller out to get most of the small ones at least, and then those big ones, well, you're gonna have to come back and tackle that at a later time. And then as we get to the end here, what I like to do is typically wait for the subsoil to get to the end of the crop. At that point, we're going to lift her up, which will be about that. And spin her around. And in we go. Nice and straightforward. I love nothing more than when GPS lines up so neatly as well. It's absolutely perfect. And with that, folks, pretty much where I'm going to be leaving it here. This has been a lovely little tool that I've only just got myself into, really. I think this is fantastic, so I can't wait to use it anymore. If you do have any questions about how to use it, please do leave those down below in the comments. If you want to see more of this, then do hit that like button and subscribe to Simulation for the Nation. A lot more coming out very shortly, and we will see you all in the next one. Till then, do stay safe, enjoy what you're doing as always, and we'll catch you later.